welcome, welcome. Episode one, episode one of the podcast. What is on? What is on? What is up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast, Easter Sunday podcast. Yeah. What's up? What? Coming to you live from Mooney Easter Sunday in Savannah, Georgia. Adam Keynes, creator and host of Majintendo TV, podcasting off of the other channel, not the main channel. Um, yeah, so we were supposed to have Ben Shapiro on tonight for our first episode, but he was unavailable due to the religious holiday. Um, we took a rain check. We'll get back to old Ben. I really need to debate him on a couple of theological issues I have with his stance pertaining to things that most people don't understand, but I do. Um, yeah, it's a real bummer. I gotta work in the morning, but who knows, man? I might just call out, but it's what it is. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of shit go on this week. Besides it being Easter Sunday, man, we had President Donald J. Trump get arrested. 45th President of the United States was indicted on some charges that ain't's gonna stick. Um, we'll talk about it more, but pretty confident in saying, and you might disagree, but I do believe he will be the 47th President of the United States. He will serve a second term. It might be a blessing in disguise that it wasn't consecutive, and Joe Biden came in and had to deal with the fallout from the pandemic and the bullshit. And now Trump has an opportunity to come in after some of this is leveled out a little bit, and he can build us back up and make America great again. You know what I'm saying? We got to make it great again. Now, I'm not some crazy MAGA Trump supporter by any imaginational stretch or means, but all I gotta say is this: I live on the upper poor spectrum. I would not consider myself middle class. I own some decent technology due to the perks of the job and career that I chose. Other than that, um, no, I'm nowhere near, I don't think, considered middle class or um, I'm upper lower class. So, but I feel like my life was a lot better and manageable, and I was able to buy and maintain a household a lot easier when Uncle Trump was in office. I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look back and be like, oh, okay, well, gas was a lot cheaper, prices on groceries was a lot cheaper, living in general was a lot cheaper, street drugs were a lot cheaper. There's just like way too much stuff that can be argued, and like the proof is there. You can see it every day. Like, I'm not gonna say I was prospering, but I was living more comfortably, and I had the opportunity, if I didn't want to be lazy, to be way more prosperous when Trump was in the White House than I do with the current administration, and that's the damn truth. So help me God, for liberty and justice for all. So yeah, that's I might keep talking about this some more, but I want to make sure that we touch on everything that I plan on talking about tonight. So our first main topic is about Trump. Our second main topic tonight is going to be I'm trying to remember what I wrote down. I know I labeled this something. It was Trump. Oh no! Oh yeah, no. Linus Tech Tips. Yes, we got to give a shout out to old Linus Sebastian up there in the farther reaches above us, old Canada. I finally pulled the trigger and bought some merch to support old Linus. I've been keeping up with Linus probably 10, 11 years now. It ain't no secret that I have a huge love of computers. I actually repair and build computers locally in my area. On my main YouTube channel, Majazido TV, I have a pretty decent amount of technology based videos, and a lot of them is either me repairing, upgrading, or building computers from different spectrums. Not all of them are outrageous. Some of them are budget builds, donated parts, donated computers, computers I found, ones that I salvaged, and try to do what I can to keep the technology out of the landfill and being utilized as much as possible when possible. So yeah, part of the pulling the trigger on finally getting some merch was the wife, um, which I'm not gonna say that I technically need her permission to do what I did, but for me to make this consciously and consider I'm aware around a lot, I needed her. I wanted her blessings. Anyway, my backpack that I usually use for work that keeps most of my tools in it, the stuff that I use every day. Uh, I keep a backpack that has a lot of my equipment and a lot of other stuff. It's basically like my big man purse. You know what I mean? If I wear pink clothes that doesn't have the wallet pocket in it, I keep my wallet in my book bag. I probably shouldn't be telling everybody this, but fuck it, right? Um, anyway, so my book bag was one that wasn't technically made to be used as much as I was using mine for work purposes, and I was not being very careful. It's a book bag that I had gotten from GameStop when I was on vacation like 2 years ago. I was in the GameStop in Greenville, South Carolina, and they had a sale going on. And me and my wife, she was getting a bunch of shirts cheap, like buy one get one free or something. And I don't know, there was a lot of uh, sales going on at this particular GameStop at the time of the year that we went. But anyway, there was this. I got it right over here. It says Zelda, Legend of Zelda backpack, and it's really more of a novelty type book bag. It's decent. It can be used. It actually has a laptop sleeve in it, uh, but it's not really made for the type of work that I do. Continuous use, every day, rugged, constantly getting tools in and out. Um, so the inside pockets have ripped open. If I put tools on the outside pockets, they go through the holes and go into the main compartment. It's hard for me to be able to arrange it at this point, and I was going to have to pull the trigger on getting me another backpack for my laptop and stuff, like a legitimate like tech backpack. And I had one of those, like I think it was like Swiss or something, that was my original laptop backpack that I had before. I had the Zelda one, and but I had given it to Justin at work so that he had his backpack because he keeps a laptop now, and we replaced his laptop with like a gaming laptop. And so like now he kind of keeps. I'm trying to get him used to keeping, the tools that you use the most. Like a spare hard drive, a couple of thumbsticks, some SD cards, precision screwdriver, some electrical tape. Keep all that kind of stuff in his laptop book bag. That way, like, if he ever needs to hurry, like, be in a position to make some side money real quick, he's got, a good amount of anything that can help do a short-term repair, something repaired quickly. And so I give him that of the book bag. So I was telling my wife, like, I really need another bag to take for work. My main job, side work, any kind of work, keeping the stuff that I do for when I make videos, YouTube. A lot of it goes hand in hand. I mean, it's more than a work bag. I need a backpack that's more going to be, slice of life equipment. It would be more of how I would want to categorize this in this situation. So yeah, so I showed her a couple of videos. I've been eyeballing this backpack. I've been looking at reviews, reading reviews. Watch the WAN show every week. I'm a huge fan of Linus. I think if you legitimately are into tech, computers, anything that's within that realm, and your common place is on YouTube. Even if even if you don't agree with everything, you gotta at least respect the hustle and respect what he's done and where he's came from. And I'm not gonna lie, I do appreciate the fact that he's there, and I enjoy his content. And I would rather have a Linus than not have a Linus. So I have videos on my main channel where I've bought a lot of merch for Tech Syndicate back when Logan and Wendell were still together. I still wear some of the clothes, and I still have my mouse pads, and sometimes I use my mouse. I've been having some issues with it double clicking, so I got to figure out if there's a way to repair that. Because I really do like the shape of the mouse and the weight of the mouse. And but yeah, I got another one off of eBay, but for some reason it's like sticky feeling. I gotta clean it off and do some work to it, but yeah, so I technically have two Tech Syndicate Burning Earth mice, and both of them seem to have something wrong with them, and that kind of bums me out. I feel like I always have issues where my mice end up double clicking, except for my Logitech mice. That one Logitech mouse. Razer mice, I feel like, are always really bad about that. Like, yeah, I've owned a lot of Razer mice. I give them the benefit of the doubt, and I try again at times, and sometimes it's just a waste. It's just a waste. But that's just what happens sometimes. When, excuse me, my mouth got dry. Yeah, it comes with the territory when you're into buying all this stuff. I mean, I got so many mice, and I got so many keyboards. I mean, I got two Corsair keyboards, K70s. One that was the RGB version, and one that was just the red one. And I'm trying to like Frankenstein them into one working K70 because they both have that problem where the keys just stick or they double type, triple type, half the keyboards don't work, and it really bothers me. I've spent a lot of money on. I've owned 4 or 5 higher end Corsair keyboards, and I've never found one that I can consistently use for long periods of time and be happy with. Uh, when it when it really comes to keyboards, my Logitech, whatever that thing is in there, I can't remember, 700 something. Just it's not RGB, but it's got like a white backlight. It's really clean. It's got some orange in it, but the aesthetic's pretty. It's comfortable to type on. I like the way it sounds. It's a nice mechanical keyboard. And, until I have to replace it, unless something comes across that's either donated or sponsored or somebody else gets it for me, I probably will just continue to keep ordering the same Logitech 730, whatever the keyboard is that I use. I'll order another one if I need to. Uh, like I'm pretty pathetic when it comes to me finding peripherals or controllers or something that I like. I have a hard time accepting change in situations like that. So, but it is what it is. But I mean, like my gaming computer over here, I got two different keyboards hooked up to it. So uh, I do need to do like a up to date equipment tour soon because I've changed a lot of the equipment that I've had during my hiatus. Uh, I got some legitimate stuff. It's crazy. Like speaking of Linus, I mean you know, I started off like 10, 11 years ago, like watching these YouTube videos, and I think I had like my computer was a Core 2 Duo E7400 with like a HD 2400 AMD or ATI. I don't even know if it was AMD graphics card, which was crap. I mean, it was like the lowest. Like it's like a step above fucking uh, onboard graphics. And I thought just because that little graphics card had a fan on it, like I didn't understand tiers of graphics cards with the way that they were modeled. Uh, or they were portrayed with their model numbers and stuff. And you know, I was under the assumption that a graphics card, like the bigger the fan on it, the better the graphics you could get. But like all graphics cards just made the game look like it was supposed to. Like I didn't realize there was you know, as many tiers and how in depth it got until a little bit later. And I finally kind of learned the system and figured out what the different cards with the different series and what it meant and how to kind of chart them out and understand what the higher end cards were, the lower end cards. But you know, it was still the wild west back in like 2008 and 2013 maybe. Like that 5 or 6 year period kind of just, I don't know, it's like a different time period. But now, I mean, I try to keep the peripherals that I do have and enjoy the ones that I can. I do have different tastes for different things that I'm doing. I have different mice that I prefer to game with as opposed to edit with. And, yeah, it's, but yeah, no, I've upgraded both of my rigs actually. I have what I would say for the first time ever in my life, uh, two higher end computers that are relevant for today. Uh, a little older, but I mean like still like one generation back, and I mean like right at one generation back. Like it's never been like bleeding edge. Like my main my main rig has a 3080 Ti in it. Like I never thought I'd ever like thinking of having a 1080 Ti at one point was like a pipe dream. I mean, like I just recently, for nostalgia's sake, to put in some kind of build, got a I don't know if you can see it right here. I got a 780 Ti. So I mean, like back when I had my 770, like I never thought I'd ever see a 780 Ti. I mean, it was like, oh my god, that was my first legit, what I considered my first real gaming card besides the 6870 AMD card I had, the HD card. I bought a 770 4 gig SOTAC because I wanted the 4 gig card instead of the 2 gig card. And I played the hell out of some Diablo 3 with that card. Those were the days, man. And now it's I got a 3070 Ti in my other rig, and it's with a newer Intel chip for editing. And then I got my AMD rig in here that's got a 5800 um, X or whatever Ryzen. So I mean, like, yeah, I'm like right there on the bleeding edge for the first time, technically still, and it's part of it's kind of underwhelming, especially when I haven't been actively making videos or using any of this equipment to produce anything uh, imaginatory or fun. I've basically just been watching YouTube, like doing the same shit I could do off of my phone. And one thing that is exciting is I got my phone fixed, like my Fold 3, Samsung Fold 3. Like 2 days after I first got it, I had dropped it and broke the front screen at the kid's doctor's appointment. So now it fully works. So I technically rock two cell phones now to kind of keep that one safer. Uh, I went on Facebook Marketplace and picked up a Pixel A 4A, Pixel 4A, for like $40. It takes the SIM card if I need to, but I can just tether internet to it. And if I don't want to have my my Fold 3 in my pocket if I have to climb in an attic or under a house or up on a lift or on a roof at work. I can uh, I can switch it out for a normal kind of phone that's a little easier to keep up with, operate, maneuver, whatever. But yeah, man, I'm gonna like try my best to like limit the wear and tear on my Fold 3 because I love that fucking phone, dude. Like it's nice. Came at a premium at first. Kind of sucks. I mean, like I got it. Not only did like 2 days after um, I originally got it, I broke the front screen. It was like within that like 2 weeks after I got it was when they announced that the Fold 4 was coming out, and I was just like, oh my god, like I just got this Fold 3, and now they got the next one. So that kind of blew me a little bit. But there's I think they ended up determining, besides a few like things that I probably wouldn't know the difference for anyway, personally. Um, that it wasn't like some huge leap forward when it came to getting the 4 over the 3. So I still feel pretty comfortable with my decision and the fact that I got it. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, going back to the original reason I was bringing up Linus, I did end up ordering some stuff. As you can see, I got one of the hoodies on. I ended up getting one of their mystery lanyards just because it was $5, and it's funny. I made the comment to myself that I was hoping I'd get at least a purple, a black, a green one or something. But what I would consider my worst fear was yellow. But yeah, I ended up getting yellow. It's fine though. I just want to support the dude, man. He's built an empire out of a garage, and I got much respect for him and his hustle, and I get it. Back when he used to do the live streams before it was called the Wayne Show out of the garage, and they'd have after parties, I used to chat with him and Luke on the through the through the chat and stuff, and I actually won some Steam games, some Honda bundles through them, and I was a part of that community kind of early on. So then I kind of did my YouTube thing for a couple of years. So, but deep down, I've always had an appreciation for Linus and what he's done and the team he's built and everything else. So that's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. So yeah, I got that, and I ended up getting the Linus Tech Tips. Oh, it's heavy right now. The backpack. So I will probably end up doing some kind of review video on it. I actually want to take my time. I'm trying to figure out what camera I want to use. I may actually just use my camera on my phone to see how that turns out. Uh, or maybe like film it with two different cameras at the same time. That way I can use different types of footage if I want to in editing. But I really want to make sure that it's sharp, clear, uh, actually stage it out, make it make sense, get a decent backdrop background. If I do use a green screen, I want to make sure that it's done correctly, as clean as I can. Maybe a small amount of humor, but I want to get it out there. I know when I was searching for information and looking up reviews and YouTube videos to see if there was anybody that had already made videos to review the book bag uh, or the backpack. There was some ones that were up there. There's not a ton of competition, so it's still within that time period that I could actually put a review up there that could take off and become relevant. A review on that scale done correctly could help boost my page, at least bring some attention to it. Over the last yearish, even though I haven't been uploading consistently or anything, I've still been having some subscribers trickle in, and it feels like it wasn't that much long ago when I was like I was only 100 away from 1,000, and it felt like I was never going to hit 1,000 subs, and now I'm at 1,200, and it's crazy. And I've noticed that I've been getting a lot more comments on some of my videos. So some of my videos have been getting hit by the algorithm somehow, and I'm not sure how. I don't want to jinx it, so it's all good. But I wanted to start doing something a little bit different than just gaming. Like gaming's just not. It's not me. Like I enjoy gaming. It's fun. It kind of gives you something to do. Um, but that's not the focal point of any kind of projects that I really want to be working on. Like I've got all this that goes on in my head. My head barely ever shuts off, and I keep telling myself that I'm too old. This is a young guy's platform, but and then I look at and I see like some of the stuff that other people are doing, and I'm like, it's not too late. Like I'll be 40 next year. Like I just turned 39, but like this is my last year in my 30s, and I feel like was that last time before my hiatus, was that my warm up, or was that my try at YouTube? Do I have like do I have it in me to try to give this thing one more push? Because it would be my dream to honestly be able to be a content creator and be in control of my own company and be able to make some type of entertaining videos for people and do that as a full time job. I would adore that. And then I could work on other people's stuff if I want to. It would give me the flexibility. I could still continue to be like some people's tech support. And I mean, like, if done right, I could use that, with the right customers. And I know some of my customers would allow me to film. I can make little videos out of the experience of repairing. Uh, some of the stuff that I actually do in the field. So if done correctly, I mean, like I think that I still have the potential to honestly uh, do YouTube one more time and give it a real shot. I would love to. Oh god, yeah, I would absolutely love to. It would be amazing, and I don't think it's out of the realm to do it. And I got some other folks. I still have Abram that's like local and down to film any project, and he gave me a lot during like the Walking Dub and some of the other projects that I worked on with Abram. So that really excites me. And then there's my neighbor, David. He he's actually down to like work on some projects and stuff. So we're we're getting closer. That's all I can say right now, but we're getting closer. I want this to work out like 100%, and I don't want to accidentally like screw any of it up. I got some things I have to take care of around the house. I got to replace the floor in the kitchen. I got to fix the air conditioner. The fan went out up in the condenser unit in the attic, so um, I got to get that repaired. And there's some yard stuff I need to attend to and clean up, but I'm trying to get these things on the honey-do list. Um, any appliances that need replacing or repairing, I need to get all this stuff done. That way, I have the legitimate uh, fortitude. I have that ability without feeling like there's something else I should be doing or holding me back or making my wife upset because I'm out here working on YouTube videos and I should be in there like helping fix something that needs tended to. I don't want to do that. When I come back to making my YouTube videos for real, I 100% want to know that I'm giving it my 100% attention and I have nothing lingering over me to take away from that creative process because I want to give this one last real shot and see if I cannot take care of business. It would be awesome. I've had a YouTube channel since 2006. If the monetization type effects would not have been there back whenever I started, uh, and especially the way within the first couple of years that everything was handled, if they wouldn't have ended up basically taking my channel down due to some copyright stuff. That later, when they started doing ads, they gave me control of my channel back, and that stuff didn't count as copyright anymore. But if they wouldn't have took my channel down, there's no way I wouldn't have been like a steady early YouTuber. I mean, like, I was trying to do it. I was starting with videos. I had a pretty good amount of content on there. I still have some of those early videos with the stop motion stuff. Now, I didn't allow all that stuff to stay up whenever I redid the channel back in 2015. So you can't go back and see everything that was on there. Some of it I went ahead and just deleted because I just didn't even care. I'm sure Google still has it backed up somewhere, but I mean, keep in mind some of these videos are from 2000, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh, I think it was around 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, where they ended up doing that copyright shit to me. Um, 2009, 2010, somewhere through there, and that's when I like basically quit because I mean they took my channel away, so I mean, like I literally couldn't use it at all. It was considered irredeemable. I mean, I still remember when was it, like maybe it was 2014 when I got the email saying that I had access to my channel again. Everything was unlocked, and it turned out now with the new rules and whatever they had going on with the advertisement and advertising arrangements, that I was now able to have my channel without any restrictions back. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Yeah, because I remember when Google went through that whole we're going to use Google Plus for the name, and they were trying to push people to have their like real government name and stuff for their YouTube channel instead of aliases. And that didn't last too long. That didn't hold on well. uh, it's like why you gotta do that to people? Like, you already know my real name. Like, I've been giving you way too much information. Oh Lord, I don't know. I don't know. This is Biden would say this is all a result of the last administration. Just like our pull out of Afghanistan was all that was Donald Trump's fault. Welcome to my first podcast, by the way. If you're first just now seeing how's accidentally tuning in, it is a late night Easter Sunday, our first podcast on this channel. I don't know if this is going to be a normal thing or not. Being stoned and just going at it. No cue cards, no teleprompters, no prerequisite. I've chose three comments when I typed it in. And we decided to go at it. Testing out a new computer. I accidentally streamed to the wrong channel and thought, well, I don't feel like signing back out and signing back in. There's too much work. We'll just do a podcast. It'd be easier to produce a podcast real quick. Uh, we were going to have Jordan Peterson on tonight, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it because of the whole Easter Sunday debacle. Um, so we ended up postponing that. We will be picking that back up sometime. Early July was his next bookable thing, so I didn't have time to book another guest, considering that uh, it's Easter Sunday. So I figured, hey, you can get me, and why not just do a solo podcast? I got enough to say right now. None of the topics I brought up right now really need, any validation, segregation, uh, no type of interaction. It is what it is. And, um, but episode 2, just because there will be different topics, and it won't be Easter Sunday. I'm pretty sure I'll have somebody else here. So anyway, yeah. So this is nuts. Alright. So yeah, I ordered the backpack. I love it. I've been able to fit everything from my Zelda bag in it, everything that was in a duffel bag that I had as a secondary bag that I grabbed when I did side work. That wasn't the normal stuff I needed every day, but it helped keep the weight out of my other bag, especially after it started ripping and coming apart. I took even more out and kept basically the bare minimal in it. Uh, so I've got enough room to like dust off some tech stuff that I haven't used in a while, just because it's like, well, technically, if I did need it, there's you know a pouch for it that's already like pre-made, pre-ready to go, and it's like might as well store it in the book bag or not the book bag, the backpack. It's hard to not say book bag. I'm used to saying book bag. But the backpack, uh, because it's there. I mean, it's like you got everything you need from your tablets to your, even if you got one of those like Asus transformers, like the two-in-one tablet. You know, I had one of those at one point, but like I could understand how somebody could possibly like fit an iPad and some type of other device with a laptop, um, like comfortably. And there's actually a little pocket that's made for your charger, which I love. One of my biggest pet peeves is always having to try to wrap that thing up real quick, and then you go to reach for it when you need it, or something goes, something happens, you either can't get to it, or you know, it's just the convenience factor of it. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. I'm excited. So, but yeah, I want to give it a few weeks, maybe a month. Um, I might record a couple of things as I come across them with my phone, and that way I can splice them in. But I want to do try to get on that radar and just see what can be done with a little honest review of the Linus Tech Tips book backpack. Yes, so yes, it took about 2.5 weeks to get here, which wasn't bad. Uh, so yeah, I'm pleased. I was excited when I got it in. Still kind of excited to have it. So that's when you know you're getting old. That's when you get excited because you got YouTubers merch their backpack. So I do. I'm excited though. It's nice. I really do like it though. I mean, just first impression. I mean, like I'm very pleased with it. I love the accessibility. I love the amount of room that's in it. I love the fact that yeah, it does have the branding on it, but it's done in a tasteful way. It's not distracting. The bag itself looks professional. It looks it's it's nice. I've added some things to it, flashlight holder, a couple of other like little small things, and I've started to customize it some. And I'm very pleased, to say the least. So, all right. So this is the part of our podcast where we're going to go to our sponsors. Today's podcast is sponsored by these cigarettes I'm smoking. These cigarettes are the best cigarettes that I smoked in the last hour. I appreciate these cigarettes, and they're probably giving me lung problems, and I'm probably going to pass away a lot earlier than I'm supposed to, and I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure I'll try to quit smoking at some point, but today's not that day, and I'm a better person for every day that I wake up and I haven't done anything stupid, and part of me not doing something stupid is smoking these cigarettes. So until I have some of my other vices under control and some of my other issues in my life taken care of, my cigarettes are gonna be there. So I appreciate these cigarettes being available to allow me to sponsor and to help us produce this video today. So this video is brought to you by these cigarettes I've been smoking. Thank you. I can't breathe because of these cigarettes that I've been smoking since I started this podcast. Alright, so it looks like we've been going for about 40 minutes on this little computer that I've been working on this weekend, tinkering with some old parts. And, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just not going to mess with the camera yet, if you can still hear me. But I got zero drop frames right now. This is some older hardware. I did some tinkering with it, but it's still pretty cool. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that right into the microphone. But yeah, so we zero drop frames. That's nice. That's nice. So yeah, we're gonna start doing some more content. But let's get to our third topic since we've got our sponsors out of the way because we do need to get to our third topic. Diablo. So last weekend I spent, or it might have been the weekend before last. Like recently on one of these weekends, I ended up doing the Diablo 4 beta, and there's a lot of people that's got a lot of opinions on the Diablo 4 beta. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and just say I enjoyed the beta. I did cap my character out at 25. I had some pretty nice armor. So far with what I've played, I was pleased with it. I wish I could have kept playing, which was a good sign. I didn't play the first day and most of the second day, so I really only put probably about 6 to 8 good hours in it for the whole weekend. I had some, excuse me, some other stuff going on, but from what I was able to play, I ended up playing a necromancer, and I enjoyed it. I like the combat. I like the story so far. That first level, it seemed to it captured the essence of Diablo. Especially coming off of playing Diablo Immortal, and I still have been playing Diablo Immortal pretty much every day. Just tinkering with it here and there. I've quit putting money into it altogether, but I still do. I still go in and get some Paragon points for my Necromancer. I've actually live streamed the start of a Barbarian that I live streamed last weekend. I believe that's what I did last weekend was the live stream of the Barbarian, which was pretty fun. I've started a Demon Hunter and a Crusader just to have those characters. I figured I would try some of those other characters with the Diablo Immortal game just because if I do decide to try those classes in Diablo 4, they're probably more than likely gonna be closer to some of the programming in Diablo Immortal than Diablo 3. So I put a lot of time in Diablo 3. I really liked the first edition of Diablo 3 for the first drop. That had the auction house and everything, and Reaper of Souls and the expansion. I mean, it was alright, but to me, the glory days of Diablo were already done by the time uh, the expansion came out, and it's kind of sad. But I played Reaper of Souls and got through the DLC and stuff. I never played the seasons and got any type of, how do I want to put this? I never played competitively with anybody. I didn't try for anything past just basically doing the storyline with as many characters as I could that I wanted to play with. Once I got the experience that I wanted out of it, I kind of just took a step back, and it just I go through and revisit it some, and I play around with a necromancer that I went back and made another one, but kind of just to kind of play it a little different than I did with my main necromancer that I played with. I don't know. I really enjoy playing necromancers in Diablo games, but yeah. So my my Diablo Immortal necromancer, I still have a lot of stuff I can do even without spending money. So Uh, I've gotten where I speak to some of the people in chat in Diablo Immortal, and there's some regulars that come in. So I've kind of like been lingering in that seat a little bit. We had a big old server merge not too long ago that brought in some new people that weren't originally on our server, and some of them are annoying as hell. And some of them could be funny, some of them kind of were able to blend pretty well with us, and didn't seem like it was awkward very much. But there's 3 or 4 people that are now on our server that if I had any way of like getting them the fuck out of there, I would. Just we'll put it that way. Uh, but other than that, I mean, like things have been pretty quiet around here. We just been doing the best we can, and I'm gonna keep watching videos and counting down until Diablo 4 comes out, and I'll continue to play some Diablo Immortal. But yeah, I do plan on putting a video out, uh, probably June, so probably around the begin. Probably I'll work on it the last week of April. I should be in a position to come out about the beginning of May. That way it gives it a good a good month. My thoughts and review on the Diablo 4 beta, and any news that I've read or seen, up to that point, any concerns that I have, or any kind of changes that have happened since the beta that I might be excited about. I want to just put. I'm not gonna make any money off of it, so there's no point in me making multiple videos leading up to the release of this, like the YouTubers that make money on it. So I want to get, I want to have a documented video showing that I'm into this kind of stuff. That way, people can see that I'm capable of making this kind of content, but I'm not going to try to milk it or extend it. It just doesn't make sense. So I'll make one video talking about my Diablo experience, waiting for Diablo 4, and then when Diablo 4 finally releases, and uh, I'll probably live stream my initial Necromancer, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream that on YouTube or Twitch. I still got to figure that out. The last time I checked, I had some drop off of subscribers on Twitch, or followers. I used to be up to like 95. I think I'm down to like low 80s or something. So, which makes sense. Some of those numbers, most of those numbers were from the pandemic, and when I was at home for a little while, I was streaming a lot more. So, uh, yeah. So maybe I won't talk too much more about Diablo. I kind of feel like I got that point across, but I don't think I've done too bad. Not for a first podcast. If I label this my first one, I could go through and edit it some. And I could do some clips of my podcast. I mean, like, damn, man, everybody's got a podcast. I want a podcast. My podcast is epic. I've got the number one Adam Cane's podcast in America. I mean, that's the goddamn truth. I was there. Zendo for president. But alright, well, I guess we'll give one more shout out to our sponsor, these cigarettes that I had smoked during this podcast. Those were really nice. Uh, the little vape pen I've been smoking during this podcast, it didn't really sponsor this podcast, but it was fun to hang out with him too. He definitely contributed. Uh, I would have liked to thank HP for building this computer back in like 2007, 2008 when it was original. That I literally just been tinkering with. That just ran this whole podcast. 2009, 2010 technology, doing podcasts in 2023, uh, just like Tesla. We got that Chat GPT. We got everything. We got a future coming up, and I'm gonna be part of it. So I hope you enjoyed this first podcast. We'll see you. Uh, we'll put it on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere that you like to listen to your favorite podcast. Uh, Exclusively at Walmart. Thank you, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a good one, everybody.